Russia, Ukraine. I was in a police academy when the war kicked off between Russia and Ukraine. And again, I have a military lieutenant. I'm private military myself, U.S. Army. And, you know, there's another Army guy there. And they were really like, Ukraine is going to beat Russia. That's how they were, because they saw the war through the perspective of the United States and other countries. But I told him, again, I'm 41, 42 years old. These are younger gentlemen. I told him, I said, listen, man, Ukraine will lose against Russia. Just by sheer numbers alone, Ukraine does not stand a chance. That Russia, that whatever sergeant or military personnel told you Russia is, it's not that. Russia is a very advanced country. It is a very mature country. It's seen a lot, way more than the United States have. And Russia will absolutely crush Ukraine. I told them that. Again, this is not taking one side or the other. It is strictly looking at the facts and the capabilities and the numbers alone. You see what I'm saying? So that's what prompted me to inform them of that. You know, you fast forward to today from when that war first kicked off, look where we are. Zelenskyy now admitting that their counteroffensive is essentially crap. You see what I'm saying? Like, they're not really making the progress that that they projected that they would, that the U.S. projected that they would, even with the help of U.S. entities such as the CIA, military, spec op units, special operations, and things like that. They are still losing against Russia. And again, Vladimir Putin is in a golden situation. I mean, the odds, it's not even really the odds, the ball, it's so many balls in Russian President Putin's court. It's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? Because he has the opportunity now to not only encourage negotiations, he also has the ability to work around sanctions. And everybody knows that U.S. sanctions, they're not as powerful as America tends to bolster that they are. A lot of countries have successfully, for decades, worked around U.S. sanctions. And if you don't believe me, you can look at a country like Iran. It's almost now like U.S. sanctions. What U.S. sanctions? And so, yes, U.S. sanctions did initially slow down Russia. But again, when they flood that market with their cheap oil, countries like India couldn't say no. The UK couldn't say no, because the UK is in the crisis of their own as far as oil and energy and production and things like that. You see what I'm saying? So Russia is in a very golden opportunity or situation in which they can really dictate how this war between themselves and Ukraine is going to go, and how the world oil markets are going to go, and how those energy markets are going to go. When you look at their exploration in the Arctic and pulling out or extracting liquid natural gas, LNG, and creating a brand new route instead of going around the UK to bring oil to other countries, they're just now going around the Bering Strait or the Bering, the Arctic on the eastern front of Russia. They're just going to just back channel that and then give the countries that need oil, such as Asia and India again. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to make money. They're going to make money. The world has a need for cheap oil. Russia has a surplus, plenty of it. Vladimir Putin is a very intelligent individual. He is not a quote-unquote slow learner, as the United States and the collective West may want the general public around the world to believe. It is just not the case at all. And I really think that oftentimes leadership in America needs to really sit down at the table with a superpower like Russia and say, hey, you know what? We really need to change the way we are doing things. This is not the Cold War anymore. You're not the USSR. You're not the, you know what I'm saying? Like it is time that we change the world. It is time that the world changes the way it does politics, geopolitical things. You see what I'm saying? And start stepping into the new. Currently, right now, the world is shifting, right, into a new paradigm as far as geopolitics are concerned, and that is with the push for BRICS, which, by the way, India is pretty much right now looking like a really weak link in the BRICS formula. But however, it is expanded to over 18 other countries looking to join BRICS. And I think the Saudis are looking to join BRICS as well. I really do think so, because that's where the world is shifting. Remember, when the United States essentially sanctioned Russia and essentially stole their money and stole those oligarchs' boats and jets and seized accounts and seized items, that message that is sent to the world, that it says that to the rest of the world, it could happen to any one of you other guys out there. You know what I'm saying? And so other countries are looking at that and they're saying, hey, we're going to protect ourselves from Western sanctions. We don't need you coming in to sanction and seize and take away our stuff that we actually own. And because you don't like a certain decision that we're tending to make that may not be in your best interest or in your best favor or whatever. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at Russia as the superpower that it is. There was no way in the world Ukraine could have predicted that Russia had supersonic missiles. There's just no way. You know? Currently, the talk is currently that Ukraine is currently just a testing ground for weapons. That's really just technically what it's come down to, because the only people that are making money in the Ukraine-Russia war and conflict is the military-industrial complex here in America. They're the only ones really making money. The average Joe Smo on the street, he's not benefiting or profiting from that. He's really not, you know. And when you really look at war, as it was once said, war is a racket. The United States is in a lot of financial trouble right now, and it just seems like when all else fails, they take you to war. I believe the great Gerald Celente said that when diplomatic relations fail, trade wars, you know, go on. When all else fails, they take you to war. So we've seen this playbook. I've seen it in my lifetime at least 6 times in my 40 plus years being on this earth. And I would urge people to respect superpowers such as Russia and do not underestimate their quote unquote enemy or opposition or anything like that. Russia will win. It is winning. It has already won that war way before we've gotten to the point that we are currently in right now. And you know, just a word of advice here. Well, not advice, but point of privilege. If Russia just really wanted to just clean house when it comes to Ukraine, they'd have done it already. Only thing Russia is doing is we're going to annex this part. Ukraine ups their aggression. Russia says, oh, okay, no problem. Take it up about right there, right? Ukraine goes up about there. Russia says, oh, okay, cool, take it up here. You see what I'm saying? And it just keeps escalating like that. You know what I mean? To the point where, you know, the Ukrainians have nothing. Zelenskyy is an utter failure as a president of Ukraine. I will say that on the record. He is a failure. Much like Biden right now is looking like a failure. And again, this is not to be negative or facetious. It is just the facts, data, and statistics that I'm looking at as a journalist every day that tells me so.